Hey, we're going to do a quick episode on inline data blocks. I was going to cover them during the high-res graphics episode that's upcoming, but I want to demonstrate them on their own first because they're kind of an odd duck by modern programming standards. Inline data isn't really used anymore because it's so easy to open and write to files anywhere on the system. So let's just take a look at it on its own and we'll use it and see practical applications of it next episode when we do high-res graphics. All right, Applesoft Basic and Commodore Basic and most other old basics of the era let you store data inline in a program using the data keyword. So this is what that would look like. You can store arbitrary values in a comma list. So let's just store 3 for now. We'll just do 1, 2, and 3. And you can get to that data by using the read keyword. So we'll read A, B, and C. And now if we were to print A, B, and C, you get the data back. So you store and access the data one value at a time. When you specify data 1, 2, 3 with the commas between, you then read that back out one variable at a time when you use the read command. So let's say if we just did read A and we didn't read anything else, we'll get, well, let's change the print statement as well so we don't get an error. You just get the 1. And we can, for example, use the same variable over and over again. So let's change line 30 to, well, we'll just do print A again. And we'll just do 40, and we'll read A again. And then on 50, we can print it. And you get 1 and 2 because we did read twice. So the next time we did read, we would get 3. A somewhat practical example of this would be if we used a quick loop, we'll do for I equals 1, 2, we'll do 5. And then we'll do read A, next I, and we'll specify our data, which you can do anywhere in the program. It doesn't have to be at the top. It's pretty common practice to do it at the very end because then when you list out the program, the data will be at the bottom and not interleaved in the code, so you can look at it all in one place. We'll just put some data to use here. Oh, need to put a print statement in there, so we'll do 25, print, and we'll print A. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a third keyword that goes along with this, which is restore. So if you're reading the data in order, which you have to do, there isn't any way to seek to a specific point. As you read it, the value that the read command points to moves forward by 1 every time. And if you want to go back to the beginning, you'd use the command restore, which that resets the read write head, so to speak, or I guess the read head, since there's no way to change inline data, back to the very beginning. So we'll add 50, and we can do it all in one line. We'll do read X and print X. So now when we run it, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the loop. We hit restore, which sends us back to the very beginning, and then we get the number 1 again because we are back at the very beginning of the list. If you are using inline data and you run out, like say for example, if we only had 3 variables in the data list instead of however many you're trying to get, you'll get an error that you're trying to read data that isn't there. That's really all there is to inline data blocks. They're kind of obtuse because, as I mentioned, modern programming languages don't really have any concept of this. And we will give some practical examples of why you would want to do this in a basic program next episode when we hit on high-res graphics. We will actually be using the data blocks to store the coordinates that we are going to draw. So when we get to that, we will see this again. See you then. Bye-bye.